Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Ishwari Parashakti Sameta Sri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva is the offering of the Chaturveda. Deva Devottama Devata Sarvabhauma Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka Sri Nithyanandeshwari Parashakti Sameta Sri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Chaturveda Priya Chaturvedam Avadharaya. Rigveda Hari Om Agnimi Ile Purohitam Yajnasya Devam Hitvitam Hota Aram Ratnadatamam. Hari Om Yajurveda Hari Om Ishetorje Tvavaya Vastopaya Pasta Devo Vastavita Praptaya Dushteshta Tamaya Karmane. Hari Om Samaveda Hari Om Agna Ayahi Pitaye Grihano Havyadataye Nihota Sakshi Barhishi. Hari Om Atharvaveda Hari Om Channo Devi Rabishtaya Apo Bhavantu Pitaye Chayo Rabishravantu Naha. Hari Om. The next offering at the feet of Dev Nithyanandeshwari Parashakti Sameta Sri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva is the offering of the Agama Shloka. Deva Devottama Devata Sarvabhauma Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka Sri Nithyanandeshwari Parashakti Sameta Sri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Agama Shloka Priya Agama Shlokam Avadharaya. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Ati Kautuhala Vishta Prityasya Tachunu Priye Yanme Netrantare Vahner Yadvandritamannuttamam Tatsarvam Katayishyami Yoga Yuktya Shunu Priye Yatsvarupam Nijam Shuttam Vyapakam Sarvatomukam Sarvabhutantaravastam Sarva Prani Sujivanam Yoga Gamyam Durasadam Dushpapamakritatamadhihi Jnanadi Shadaguna Ete Tattastaha Prabhavantihi Savai Mahakriya Rupa Samstitaika Kriyamata Animadi Guna Nashtav Karoti Vikaroti Cha Evam Mamecha Jnanakyat Kriyakya Shakti Ruchyate. Next off Shiva is the offering of the Dravida Vedam. Deva Devottama Devata Sarvabhauma Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka Sri Nithyanandeshwari Parashakti Sameta Sri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Dravida Veda Priya Dravida Vedam Avadharaya. Veyuru Toli Pangan Vidamunda Kandan Miganalla Vinay Kadavi Masaru Tingal Gangai Mudimela Nindu Yan Ulame Pugunda Adanal Nyayiru Tingal Sevvai Budan Vyalan Velli Shanipam Birandum Mudane Masaru Nalla Nalla Avai Nalla Nalla En Adiyadavarku Migave. Shiva Tiruchitrambalam. The next offering of the Paramashiva at the feet of Dev Nithyananda Paramashiva, Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva is the offering of the Stotra Seva. देवदेवोत्तम देवता सार्वभौम अखिलांड कोटि ब्रह्मांड नायक श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी पराशक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिव स्तोत्र प्रिय स्तोत्रम अवधारय।
ओम नमो भगवते सदाशिवाय सकल तत्वात्मकाय सर्वमंत्र स्वरूपाय सर्वयंत्राधिष्ठिताय सर्वतंत्र स्वरूपाय तत्वविदुराय ब्रह्मरुद्रावतारिणे नीलकंठाय पार्वती मनोहराय सोमसूर्याग्निलोचनाय भस्मोधूलित विग्रहाय महामणिमुकुटधारणाय माणिक्यभूषणाय सृष्टिस्थिति प्रलयकाल रौद्रावताराय दक्षाध्वरध्वंसकाय महाकालभेदनाय मूलाधारे कनिनलाय तत्वातीताय गंगाधराय सर्वदेवादिदेवाय षडाश्रयाय त्रिवर्ग साधनाय अनंत कोटि ब्रह्मांड नायकाय अनंत वासुकी तक्षक कार्कोटक शंख कुलिक पद्म महापद्मेति अष्ट महागुलभूषणाय प्रणव स्वरूपाय चिदाकाशाय आकाश दिक्स्वरूपाय ग्रह नक्षत्र मालिने सकलाय कलंकरहिताय सकल लोकैक खत्रे सकल लोकैक भत्रे सकल लोकैक संहत्रे सकल लोकैक गुरवे सकल लोकैक साक्षिणे सकल निगम गुह्याय वेदांत पारगाय सकल लोकैक शंकराय शशांक शेखराय शाश्वत निजावासाय निराभासाय निरामयाय निर्मदाय निश्चिंताय निरंकुशाय निरंकलंकाय निर्गुणाय निष्कामाय निरुपप्लवाय निरुपद्रवाय निरवध्याय निरंतराय निष्कारणाय निरंतकाय निष्प्रपंचाय निस्संगाय निर्द्वन्द्वाय निराधाराय निरागाय निष्क्रोधाय निर्लोपाय निष्पापाय निर्भयाय निर्विकल्पाय निर्भेदाय निष्क्रियाय निस्तुलाय निस्संशयाय निरुपम विभाय नित्य शुद्ध बुद्ध परिपूर्ण सच्चिदानंदाद्वयाय परम शांत स्वरूपाय तेजो रूपाय तेजोमयाय जय जय रुद्र महारौद्र भद्रावतार महाभैरव काल भैरव कल्पांत भैरव कपालमालाधर खट्वांग खड्ग छर्म पाशांकुश डमरू शूल चाप भान गदा शक्ति भिंडिफाल तोमर मुसल मुद्गर भाष फरिग पुशुंडी षटग्नि चक्राद्यायुध भीषणकर सहस्रमुख दंष्ट्राकराल वदन विकटाटहास विस्फारित ब्रह्मांड मंडल नागेंद्र कुंडल नागेंद्र हार नागेंद्र वलय नागेंद्र चर्मधर मृत्युंजय त्र्यंबक विश्वरूप विरूपाक्ष विश्वेश्वर वृषभवाहन विश्वतोमुख सर्वतो रक्ष रक्ष मां ज्वल ज्वल महामृत्युमपमृत्युभयं नाशय नाशय चोर भयं उत्सादय उत्सादय विषसर्प भयं समय समय चोरान् मारय मारय मम शत्रून् उच्चाटय उच्चाटय त्रिशूलेन विदारय विदारय कुटारेण भिंडी भिंडी खड्गेन चिंडी चिंडी कट्वांगेन विपोदय विपोदय मुसलेन निष्पेषय निष्पेषय बाणैः संताडय संताडय भूतानि विद्रावय विद्रावय रक्षांसि भीषय भीषय भूतानि विद्रावय विद्रावय कूष्मांड मारीच वेताल ब्रह्म राक्षस गणान् संताटय संताटय माम अभयं कुरु कुरु वित्रस्त्वं माम आश्वासय आश्वासय दुःखां नरकभयां माम उद्धर उद्धर संजीवय संजीवय शुत्रुभ्यां माम आप्यायय आप्यायय दुःखातुरं माम आनन्दय आनन्दय शिवकवचेन माम आच्छाटय आच्छाटय मृत्युंजय त्र्यंबक सदाशिव परमशिव नमस्ते नमस्ते।
नित्यानंद परमशिवोहम ओम नित्यानंद परमशिवोहम ओम नित्यानंद परमशिवोहम ओम नित्यानंद Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda.
Next offering of the Uttamottama Seva at the feet of Dev Nithyanandeshwari Parashakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva is the offering of the Nitya Seva. देवदेवोत्तम देवतास्तार्वभौम अखिलांड कोटि ब्रह्मांड नायक श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी पराशक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिव नृत्य प्रिय नृत्यम अवधारय।
களைதொடு ஒற்றை கிரிமத்தை பொறுதொரு பட்ட பகல் வட்டத்திராது பக்கத்திரதத்தை கடவிய பட்சி புயமெச்ச தகுதுள் பட்சத்தொடு ரட்சி தருவதும் ஒரு நாளே. பரிபுரனிட்டப்பதம் வைத்து பைரவி திக்கொட்டலடித்து கழுகுடு கழுதாட திக்கு பரியாட்ட பைரவ தொக்கு தொகு தொக்கு தொகுதுகு சித்த பவுதி குத்திகடுக என மோத குத்து பறை கொட்ட களமிசை குப்பு குபு குப்பு குபு குபு குத்தி புதை குப்பு பிடியன முழுகூதை கொட்புற்றழல கொற்ற உளரை வெட்டி பலியிட்டு குலகிரி குத்துப்பட முத்து பொருள பெருமாளே நித்தித்தைய முத்த பரிபுர நெட்டப்புற வைத்த பைரவி திக்கொட்ட நடிக்க கழுகுடு கழுதாட திக்கு பரியட்ட பைரவ குக்கு தொகுது குத்துகுது சித்திர பௌரி குத்திகடக என ஓத கொத்து பறை கொட்ட களமிசை குப்பு குபு குப்பு குபு குத்தி புதை குப்பு பிடியன முழுகூதை கொட்புற்றழல கொற்ற உணரை வெட்டி பலியிட்டு குலகிரி குத்துப்பட முத்து பொருள பெருமாளே குலகிரி குத்துப்பட முத்து பொருள பெருமாளே பத்தத்திரதத்தை கடலிய பச்சை புயல் மெச்ச தகு பொருள் பட்சத்தொடு ரட்சி தருள்வதும் ஒரு நாளே. ஏறுமயிலேறி விளையாடு முகம் ஒன்றே ஈஸ்வருடன் ஞானமொழி பேசும் முகம் ஒன்றே கூறுமடியாக வினை தீர்க்கும் முகம் ஒன்றே குறுவதே வாங்கி நின்ற முகம் ஒன்றே ஏறுமயிலேறி விளையாடு முகம் ஒன்றே ஈஸ்வருடன் ஞானமொழி பேசும் முகம் ஒன்றே கூறுமடியாக வினை தீர்க்கும் முகம் ஒன்றே குறுவதே வாங்கி நின்ற முகம் ஒன்றே மாறுபடு சூரரை வதத்த முகம் ஒன்றே பள்ளியை வளம் புணர வந்த முகம் ஒன்றே ஆறுமுகமான பொருள் அருள வேண்டும் ஆதி அருணாச்சலமந்த பெருமாளே மாறுபடு சூரரை வதத்த முகம் ஒன்றே பள்ளியை வளம் புணர வந்த முகம் ஒன்றே ஆறுமுகமான பொருள் அருள வேண்டும் ஆதி அருணாச்சலமந்த பெருமாளே ஆதி அருணாச்சலமந்த பெருமாளே. Yes.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda.
Offering of the Uttama Seva at the feet of Devi Nithyanandeshwari Parashakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva is the offering of the Sangeeta Seva. Deva Devottama Devata Sarvabhauma Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka Shri Nithyanandeshwari Parashakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Sangeeta Priya Sangeetam Avadharaya.
Nitya
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Of the Uttama Seva at the feet of Devi Nithyanandeshwari Parashakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva is the offering of the Sangeeta Seva. Deva Devottama Devata Sarvabhauma Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka Shri Nithyanandeshwari Parashakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Sangeeta Priya Sangeetam Avadharaya.
Nityanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtam Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasya Dilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Belava, Belava, Bel Muruga Baba, வேலவா வேலவா வேல் முருகா பாவா 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 வேலவா சண்முகா முருகா முருகா வேலவா சண்முகா முருகா முருகா வேலவா சண்முகா முருகா முருகா வேலவா சண்முகா முருகா முருகா பலி மனாவாலா குஞ்சரி மனாலா பலி மனாவாலா குஞ்சரி மனா சண்முகா முருகா முருகா வேலவா சண்முகா முருகா முருகா வேலவா சண்முகா முருகா முருகா வேலவா சண்முகா முருகா முருகா வேலவா வேலவா வேல் முருகா பாவா வேலவா வேலவா வேல் முருகா பாவா 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 வேலவா சண்முகா முருகா முருகா வேலவா சண்முகா முருகா முருகா வேலவா சண்முகா முருகா முருகா வேலவா சண்முகா முருகா முருகா ಶೂರಡಿ ಶೂರ ಸುಬ್ರಹ್ಮಣ್ಯ ದೇವ ಶೂರಡಿ ಶೂರ ಸುಬ್ರಹ್ಮಣ್ಯ ದೇವ ಷಣ್ಮುಗ ಸರ್ವನ ಮುರುಗ ಮುರುಗ ಷಣ್ಮುಗ ಸರ್ವನ ಮುರುಗ ಮುರುಗ ಷಣ್ಮುಗ ಸರ್ವನ ಮುರುಗ ಮುರುಗ ಷಣ್ಮುಗ ಸರ್ವನ ಮುರುಗ ಮುರುಗ
The next offering of the Uttamottama Seva at the feet of Devi Nithyanandeshwari Parashakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva is the offering of the Paramashiva Shakti Avishkarana. Devadevottama Devata Sarvabhauma Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka Shri Nithyanandeshwari Parashakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Paramashiva Shakti Avishkarana Priya Paramashiva Shakti Avishkaranam Avatharaya.
Nityanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatītam Gagana Sadisham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatītam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nityanandam, I welcome all the participants and the viewers joining us from various different digital platforms here for the segment of Power Manifestation or the Shakti Avishkarana for today's Uttamottama Seva. Before we get into the Power Manifestation, let us all know about the primordial being, the source of the science of Power Manifestation. The primordial being is none other than Paramashiva himself, who is operating the Panchakritya, that is Shrishti, creation, Sthiti, sustenance, Samhara, rejuvenation, Throbhava, pulling out of delusion, and Anugraha, giving liberation. He is constantly in us and operating this Panchakritya to make us alive. Beautifully is reviving the lost science of power manifestation in today's world. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagatguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is beautifully training all his disciples, devotees, and balasins to manifest the 463 plus powers of Paramashiva. Is none other than his own physical extensions. A little about the power today. Today, we have a balasint here, and she'll be manifesting the power of third eye solutions. Before we get into what this power is really about, Ma, would you like to introduce yourself to all the participants?
Yes, ma'am. Nityanandam, my name is Vanshika, and I'm 14 years old, and I have been studying Nitya in the Gurukul past 3 years, and I've been manifesting a lot of powers of Paramashiva just by one initiation of Swamiji and just being in oneness with him.
Wow, that's beautiful. Understand, this is not just Ma Vanshika's story, but all the balasins being in the Nithyananda Gurukul. Everybody has the same story of how Swamiji initiated them just once, and everybody started manifesting these extraordinary 463 plus powers of Paramashiva with just one single touch or a word or a look. And that is all it takes for your third eye to get awakened, and that opens the door to manifesting all the powers of Paramashiva. Now, getting back to what this power is really about, third eye solutions. Understand, third eye works from the multi-dimensional logic. It doesn't go by the logic that we are conditioned in today's world or the society conditions us into. Third eye works in different subtle dimensions that we are not able to comprehend with the existing IQ we have. So, this power actually scans what is stopping one person from manifesting their reality. Any obstacles, any incompletion, any root pattern that is being major or playing a major role in stopping one's manifestation of their own reality. So, third eye goes to that detail of revealing what is actually the problem, and at the same time, it will give you a solution of what you can do to get rid of this problem. So, the reality that you want to manifest it's already happening. And understand, when third eye falls on your body, immediately any problems that you have, any incompletion that you go into gets completed and at the same time gets healed. Because that is the beauty of Paramashiva's third eye. So before we get into the power itself, we have a volunteer for today. Ma, would you like to introduce yourself to all the participants and the viewers? Nityananda, would you like to introduce yourself to all the participants?
Namaste.
Nityananda, yes, ma'am.
I'm Asha from Bangalore.
Yes, ma'am, please. How did you come to know about Swamiji? What brought you here? Could you give us a little insight about yourself?
Yeah, I've heard about Swamiji's Ilakas, and one of my friends introduced me here. I'm gratitude towards Swamiji, and I've come here just on my
So you recently only knew Swamiji.
this man.
Yes, perfect, ma'am. So today we'll be manifesting the power of third eye solutions. This power, ma, the third eye scans what obstacle you are facing currently that you are not able to understand or you are unaware of. The third eye detects that and it will reveal to you what exactly it is that is stopping your manifestation of reality. At the same time, giving you a solution to solve the problem. And understand when Paramashiva gives a solution, that is the only solution needed and required for you to get out of the problem. And today, Ma Vanshika here will be manifesting the power. We'll get right on to it. Ma, would you like Ma Vanshika to scan something specific, or would you like a general scanning?
Specific on my wealth problems, ma'am. My wealth
Ma, could you please repeat that? If you have any questions.
wealth problems.
Wealth problems. Okay, ma. Yes.
Ma'am.
So Ma Vanshika here will be scanning what is the problem, what is really the problem or something revolving around this issue in your life. And the third eye will reveal it exactly at the same time give you a solution. So before we start manifesting the power, I request all of you to sit with your head neck spine in straight line because right now we'll be chanting the Mahavakya, the three intense words that is going to get us all in the face of Paramashiva or Paramashivatva. Understand, when you chant Mahavakya intensely, the frequency increases and Swamiji himself can appear if your intensity of Mahavakya chanting increases. Swamiji himself revealed it in the Satsang. And many of the devotees and disciples have experienced that, but just by chanting Mahavakya very intensely, they have actually had the darshan of Swamiji. So I request all of you to sit with your head, neck, spine in a straight line and chant the Mahavakya along with us. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Vanshika, are you done? Yes, ma'am. Such a quick manifestation. Vanshika has already done scanning the problem that you have. Now she'll be revealing to you.
Nityananda, so Swami revealed me that for this wealth problem, Swami revealed me that this is happening because there's somewhere inside you holding incompletions towards this wealth, towards wealth. Swami revealed me that you should sit and you should look in and you should complete where and why you are holding small incompletions towards wealth, which is not able, not allow income is not allowing the wealth to get manifested. That's what Swami revealed me.
Ma Asha, did you hear what Ma Vanshika said, Ma?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I heard it.
I will just reiterate for all the participants and the viewers also. So what Ma Vanshika is saying is that you are holding personal incompletions, small incompletion towards wealth itself. So you should look in and complete because because of you holding to these incompletions very strongly, the wealth is not manifesting in your life because you're having some incompletions. But usually, if you have any incompletions, the reality generally doesn't even manifest because you're having some kind of a clash between what you want and what really has to happen. So that is an incompletion. So when you're not when the wealth is not manifesting, that is because you're holding this incompletion. So when that component gets completed in you, obviously whatever you want will manifest as reality immediately. So Ma Vanshika here also gave you the solution of sitting and looking in deeply and seeing what really is that you're holding against wealth itself. Are you able to relate, Ma?
Yes, ma'am.
You're able to relate?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Healing, you can do.
Sorry, Ma, could you repeat? The audio was breaking.
Yes, ma'am, I can get that what ma'am was telling me.
Yes, perfect, Ma. So the only solution is sitting, looking in, and completing. Completion is the best way to manifest Paramashiva, Ma. So that was all the participants in the viewers can see how intensely when we chanted the Mahavakya, it didn't even took less than a minute for her to immediately just reveal what exactly is the problem. See, that is when I tell you that when you chant it with great intensity and frequency, you're able to manifest what power you want. And at the same time, Swamiji will give you the darshan, physically being there. That is the power of these three words. Any problem you have, any obstacle that you're facing, immediately start chanting a Mahavakya. Everything will start effortlessly moving forward and it will start progressing in your life. There will be no stops or no obstacles or no hindrance in your life. So with this, I would like to offer this. We would like to offer our gratitude at the lotus feet of His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. And we'll be ending with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Stay tuned for upcoming events for today and the most awaited live satsang of none other than Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. And make sure to tune in back tomorrow at 6:30 IST for Uttamottama Seva. Thank you, Nithyananda.
Kailasa, the good God country. Hinduism has something great to offer. Hindu God, Paramashiva, is good. We love him not just because he gives us what we want, but because he is good and he has so much to offer to the world that makes the best nation. Hindu God has life positive, all-inclusive, good, spiritual, social, political, and moral principles. Hindu principles are guaranteed solutions for all the major problems of humanity: resettlement, violence and lawfare, impoverishment, inequality, environmental footprint, pandemic and biowar, disputes, feminist movement, women's rights, child rights, minority rights, linguistic rights, human rights. Because Hinduism has the best to offer to the world, Kailasa, standing tall since 1994 for the grand narrative of Hinduism, is the good God's country. Founder of Kailasa, Paramashiva, and his 1008th incarnation, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagatguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is the reviver of Kailasa, the enlightened civilization, the greatest Hindu nation. His Divine Holiness was birthed by his predecessors of enlightened masters, great rishis, munis, siddhas, who predicted and recognized His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, as an incarnation of Paramashiva, as per the science of incarnation described in Hinduism. From his first Chaturmasya at the age of 3 in the year 1980 until the age of 16 in the year 1994, the Supreme Pontiff was trained for the revival of Kailasa. He began reviving Kailasa from the age of 16 after the coronation on the 25th May 1994. Kailasa that we see today is 26 years of sincere hard work of the reviver and Hindu diaspora all over the world. Kailasa has a potential population of 2 billion Hindus worldwide, with over 100 million applications to its citizenship already applied. Hinduism has stood over 10,000 years as an enlightened civilization, has been a global beacon of spiritual and timeless wisdom, technology, culture.
He's wearing a grey jacket. His name is Boris.
The world's ancient civilization produced more than 40% of the world's GDP.
Purpose of life is to experience oneness with the ultimate reality, Paramashiva. Life exists on the planet Earth for last 40 billion years, and 5 times life faced complete extinction on the planet Earth. But somewhere one DNA, one cell, living organism is thrown out of planet Earth, preserved inside a volcano rock. After millions of years comes back to Earth due to gravity or whatever reason, gets into the ocean and starts the life again. Sanatana Hindu Dharma is the conscious science to give breakthrough to your DNA through natural selection process and to your consciousness through the conscious decision process. Sanatana Hindu Dharma is a sacred spiritual science. It is not bunch of do's and don'ts. No. Please understand, it is the revelations of sacred truths, cosmic truths, powerful cognition. It is still alive, that science is available, time-tested, foolproof. This science of living enlightenment is the complete solution for all the problems individual or society or modern day humanity is facing. Then you will understand all the problems of the modern day humanity. Sanatana Hindu Dharma is solution. Whether the terrorism or climate change, natural calamities or man-made calamities, for all the problems humanity is facing, the only solution is science of living enlightenment, revealed by Paramashiva from the Vedagamas in the modern day through this body. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution and setting model communities. Understand? Kailasa is reviving the ancient Hindu enlightened civilization. Paramashiva manifested this Kailasa Mandala, the enlightenment ecosystem and the lifestyle. I am going to revive this whole enlightenment ecosystem, Kailasa, by creating a model Kailasas all over the world. I will work sincerely and revive this spiritual science, which is the core for enlightenment ecosystem, making you all manifest the state, space, powers, being, superconsciousness and Kailasa of Paramashiva, and making all of us manifest Paramashiva.
In a world ravaged by war, ecological destruction, hatred and division, Kailasa stands as a bold vision of human potential, coexistence, organic living, and alignment with nature. Over the past 50 years, the world has seen the creation of dozens of new countries, and so if anything, it would be odd not to see a new country formed in the 21st century. Without the protection of political legitimacy, there is an imminent danger that the great tenets, scriptures, and science of creating an enlightened civilization, which spanned 56 states, 200 kingdoms, 1700 samsthanas, and 10,000 sampradayas, forever lost to humanity. The Hindu diaspora are highly successful around the world. They formed the dispossessed diaspora who has been driven to other countries because they are unable to practice their religion authentically in their own country. They have flourished in countries where they have been allowed to settle with religious freedom. For example, in the United States, Hindus are the most educated and highest earning community, with 77% of them holding a bachelor's degree and 48% having an income of $100,000 or more. Although they are only 1% of the population, Hindus have launched 13.5% of the startups in the USA. They hold leadership, technical and creative positions in companies such as Microsoft, Google, Facebook, etc. This success has been repeated around the world, in the UK, Canada, Australia, etc. James Kirkup, in his 2015 Telegraph article says, British Indians are not just the most successful immigrant group in this country's recent history, but the most successful group of people, full stop. He continues, More extraordinary than the rise in numbers is how it has taken place so harmoniously and profitably for this country and those in it. British Indians, quite simply, are among the most industrious, accomplished, and credible amongst us. The best of British, if you like. The same article says that British Hindus are barely 2% of the population, but 12% of all the doctors. Australia and Canada have understood the ingredients of fast economic growth of the country and are doing everything to attract the educated, rich Hindu community. Hindus are the fastest growing migrant population in Australia. In 2017, 200% more Hindus have received invitation for Canadian Permanent Residency Program. Even now, the Hindu diaspora worldwide are the richest. No divorce, have no cases of drugs and substance abuse, lowest mental disorder, no depression. Hinduism is the only religion which neither converts nor kills. Absolutely non-violent, the elite sect of mankind. Because the Hindu diaspora worldwide and the Supreme Pontiff are successful in spreading their spiritual Hindu message of openness and inclusiveness against the forces of hatred and exclusivity, they have become the victims of relentless attacks by multi-armed apparatus of state power. Anti-Hindu forces, extremist caste, supremacist militant organization want a one ideology, Hinduism, under their exclusive domain. What they cannot digest into themselves, they systematically delegitimize and exterminate. Lawfare, assassination attempts, character assassination of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagatguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Attempted assassination and assassinated Kailasians. Sexual assaults and rape of female monks of Kailasa. Objectification. Character assassination. State-funded child abuse and sexual abuse on the children of Kailasa.
Then I told I don't want to see a picture. Then I told I don't want to see a picture. Then they showed me a picture.
State-operated embezzlement of funds, properties and assets donated by the Hindu diaspora worldwide for the purpose of the revival of Kailasa. Since 1994, up to until now. Building a nation is not a project accomplished overnight or by virtue of hope. Kailasa is the manifestation of 26 years of sincere hard work, sacrifices, integrity of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagatguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, and the Hindu diaspora worldwide for the past 26 years for the enlightenment of humanity.
ज्ञानभानु
नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम्।
नित्यानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। Nityanandam, we offer our humble obeisance, our humble pranam at the divine lotus feet of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. We welcome all the viewers across the world. For those who are you tuning in to the first time to Kailasa's Nithyananda TV, welcome to the official TV programming for Sri Kailasa, the only and greatest Hindu nation in the world. Sri Kailasa is a Hindu nation revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, which serves millions with a simple yet powerful way to experience and live enlightenment. So, yesterday we had a really powerful initiation happen by our beloved Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. So today, we will be going into the deeper secrets of how this initiation works and so today we will go into the deeper secrets, like how we got initiated and now how the initiation will work for us. So before entering into the panel, we will be discussing, and we have a small presentation where how this initiation works on each and every one of us and what these initiation, the importance of initiation. So with this, let us enter into the presentation. What is initiation? Initiation is the direct transmission of truth from the master to disciple. When a teacher conveys the truth to a student in words, it is called a teaching. So when an enlightened master directly transmits, an avatar directly transmits the experience of truth to the disciple, it is called initiation. So when the truth is experientially transmitted, the disciple straight away gets a glimpse. He has a powerful spiritual experience that is beyond his logic. He gets a click. If this click happens in the disciple, it means the initiation had happened. So the mission of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, is to pioneer the divine evolution, awakening human beings to their Shaktis, extraordinary powers, and powerful cognitions from the higher state of consciousness, build frequency of human body, mind, internal organs, and intra-organs. So we had Dikshas, initiation to the science of enlightenment yesterday, the knowledge and science of manifesting the Vedagama, truth, are transmitted through Diksha or initiation. Diksha is the direct transfer of spiritual energy by an avatar. Diksha is transmitted by a nayana or look, or the word, mantra or words, or sparsha or touch. The moment of initiation received with oneness can bring about more irreversible transformation in one's life than years of meditation and spiritual practice. So we had an extraordinary initiation happen yesterday. So what are the benefits of these initiation? So bring about more irreversible transformation in your life than years of meditation and spiritual practices. This initiation, Diksha, results in the spontaneous awakening of Kundalini, the highest inner potential energy in the body, awakening the latent non-mechanical parts of the brain and increasing levels of coherence. The whole brain comes alive, turning into a superconductor of conscious energies that heal, empower, and transform our lives. So it enhances the awakening awareness of our levels, the greater creativity and extraordinary abilities start to express through us, like levitation, teleportation, materialization. This influx of superconscious energy also visibly slows down the aging process and improves immunity to disease. With initiation, your brain develops subtle grooves in hold and radiate the energy of enlightenment itself. So medically, only 2 out of 12 strands of DNA is opened with initiation from an avatar. Can simply alter your existing DNA and activate your unused DNA strands, awaken all 12 strands. So with this extraordinary initiation happened yesterday, and especially with the eclipse day, Swamiji has initiated all of us into this extraordinary initiation, Shivadiksha, and the unclutching meditation, where whatever may happen around you, you will be established in that Paramashanta Swarupa. It can happen only through the initiation of an avatar. So we have panelists today with us. We will be discussing. So Swamiji has yesterday guided us to do Jivada Sadas on how we have gone through this whole pandemic and how we have survived it. And Swamiji, from last 1 year, before even the corona started, Swamiji has been guiding the whole Adinavasis, Kailayavasis, how devotees, how the pralaya going to have an impact and give a new normal to the whole humanity. So today we have panelist Manitya Jayeshananda, Manitya Vijayeshananda, and we have a very devoted devotee, Dr. Shanti, and our sannyasi Ma Nitya Sadashiva Priyananda. So here in this panel, we are going to do the Jivada Sadas on different initiations, how these initiations had worked on each and every one of us, and how with the blessings and the guidance of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam had guided through very beautifully through all of us. I welcome all the panelists today. So today we'll be starting about the preparation, what Swamiji has given to us before even this COVID pandemic had started. So Manitya Jayesha and Vijayeshananda, can you share few points about how Swamiji has beautifully guided Kailayavasis, E-Kailayavasis, devotees, disciples, all of us?
Yes. Thank you, Mahatma Swami, for this beautiful introduction on initiations. And to give my personal view and my personal experience on how Swamiji has guided us through this pandemic, I still remember when I first joined Gurukul about 2.5 years ago. And we were in Chitsaba, right? So then my whole, I could never stay in one place for a long time. I would get very restless. I would want to go out, right? But most of our activities used to happen in Chitsaba. We'd go to temple. Our routine we'd have a beautiful temple routine in the morning, and then we'd come back and all the academics, our learning shastras, chanting, everything happened within Chitsaba. And at one point, I used to get so frustrated. I'd be like, oh, why am I not going out? I want to go out. I want to go out. But then I don't think I ever realized the importance of learning to be staying inside 4 closed walls, although it was a humongous hall. For me, when I realized when this whole concept of lockdown started coming up during the whole COVID, and I'm just like, wow, Swamiji slowly started at that time itself breaking into one by one of my patterns, mainly being not being able to stay in closed walls. And I think that was the beginning of the preparation for me. What about you, Majesha?
It was the same. Even I had the same problem of being very restless in a spot. You tell me to be in one spot, that's something I don't click with well. I would like to move around. But then Swamiji, obviously advanced, he just knew about all the people that most of us, not just us who had the pattern before, most of the Balasins also had the same pattern of being in one spot for a long time. But then Swamiji beautifully trained us to start being only in one vicinity, do not move around too much. So obviously when Swamiji says, we respect each and every word that Swamiji says, and everything he says always has a meaning, and we have enough evidences and proofs for that. So we just followed exactly what Swamiji said, and right now I'm seeing, my God, the news that is coming, Pralay, with the grace of Paramashiva, Pralay has beautifully ended. Before the Pralay was over, people just couldn't stay in one place for a long time. They would get into this pandemic fatigue that Swamiji beautifully said in the Satsang, where they just don't care about their lives anymore. They're like, I want to go out. Even if I get coronavirus, it's fine. I don't care, but I want to go out. They push themselves to that level, if you see. So looking at all the news and headlines, I was so grateful for Swamiji to start training us. From 2 years before itself, he started training each one of us so beautifully. And not just being in one spot, but he started involving more diets, different diets, nirahara, patni britam, mucus-free diet. All this is just to prepare ourselves and sustain the pralay. And I am very grateful for Swamiji to train us and prepare our bodies to sustain even the greatest of anything, that the Mahapralaya that just happened. We were able to beautifully, effortlessly go through it. And yesterday it ended, like Atma Swami said, it ended beautifully with beautiful initiations that Swamiji had given each and every disciples and devotees. Yes, Mahatma Swami, this is what I had personally experienced with the preparation that Swamiji had given us.
True. Even before even the pandemic had started, actually, before the pralaya, at least 1 year, Swamiji had trained all Adinavasis to sit together and work virtually, like getting all worldwide Adinavasis come together and sit in the Zoom and working, being workaholic. And it was so beautiful, even before even starting the whole pandemic, the way it had started. And even Swamiji had guided the devotees also not to go out much, and how we can have each and every one together. And by then we have all shifted to digitally participating in all our projects. So it was such an amazing way. And even if we discuss with our devotees how the pandemic, the impacts of the pandemic had happened and upon us, doctor, like you have been seen a lot of people going through a lot of turmoil at this point. A personal counselor also to lots of our devotees and the patients also, right? So how have you helped even people to guide them, support them with Swamiji's teachings, and how the whole pandemic had taken place in your life?
Thank you, Atma Swami, for giving this opportunity to participate in this great Jivartha Sadas. For me, being a doctor and also being a family member and a part of beautiful Sangha, that Sangha with which I live, and part of this home temple where I'm sitting and talking, it's been a great experience. Swamiji has always blessed me to be part of many of the inner awakenings and other programs wherein he had already prepared. Most beautiful thing is to be at ease with myself without the need of any of the outer world entertainments or outer world input. This is the biggest challenge that every human being went through, including the professionals, all of us, without an exception. That was the greatest, one of the greatest initiations and the blessings that we had. And as Mahatma Swami said, we were already prepared. Otherwise, I am not a tech-savvy person at all. So because of Swamiji's initiation, the need for to be attending the satsang every day live, and also being part of the Facebook and all the basic technology, taking sessions online, Zoom, I was already prepared. One of the most important things which I would like to share here is the powerful cognitions. All the truths that Swamiji gives us during daily satsangs, they just become part of our biomemory, our cognition, without we having to remember it, memorize it and bring nothing like that. When we sit in oneness during the satsang, the powerful cognition just become part of us. So that helped me maximum during this pandemic. And the will persistence, so much he had already made us go through this by developing our will persistence through initiations and through satsangs. So the pandemic was, though it was a very big challenge in our day-to-day life, every aspect, whether procuring provision or talking to people, especially being a professional, how to protect myself and how to help them protect themselves. physically. Huge, the pandemic created a huge, like a tsunami. The thoughts, the emotions was drowning inside. So it was difficult, and outside everything was closed. With the minimal available resource, how not to suffer and be participating in life was the biggest thing that I was prepared through the daily satsangs and the programs that through which he had initiated, through the daily practices, the lifestyle, early morning yoga, puja, that kept me centered and was able to again and again engage with life, the challenges of new patients coming, new complications, and also my own family, my very close family members had COVID, and 2 of them were hospitalized twice, senior citizens, and I was part of that, not only as a family member, as a doctor, as a spiritual counselor. So it was too huge, and the temple was there. No one was coming inside and no one was going out. The whole thing had to happen for 2 weeks with zero assistance from outside physically, but the inner strength was kept alive, not only to handle myself, to help others to go through this challenge, checking their vitals, checking their temperature, and being in protecting myself. It was a very big challenge, coordinating the whole team and all the time being on call, not breaking inside. I was kept as a whole integrated person. I know now any challenge in my life, I'll be able to go through, because it was such an intense period for me. The 24 hours, I wouldn't know how it goes. The 14 days of quarantine, where no one used to come, but the whole thing had to happen. The professional coordination on phone, attending to people and taking care of the temple, everything happened effortlessly because of the power of initiation and the unclutching. What happened? It was just happening. Now looking back, I'm analyzing and using words to explain. But at that time, I know it's just the consciousness knows what was the journey like. So it's a very big strength, the power of initiation, which just gives clicks continuously as and when the new challenges come. There is nobody to tutor, no need to refer anything. I'm not saying the knowledge, the medical knowledge. What I'm saying is, first we have to be prepared to enter saying yes to the task that I'm provided. Only when I say yes and jump in, the solution will even appear. As Swamiji says, the problem and solution comes as a package to us. It's solution, problem. Where I look at is what matters. With His grace, always the solution was shown and not the problem. So it was like new cognitions, new dimensions, and new ability to face the challenge as it comes continuously for such a long period. Holding on happened with the power of initiation, and daily satsang was the only power, the only strength. It was like a battery charging. Many days when I was not able to sit for the live satsang, the available transcript on the Facebook page, when I used to read that, it used to be like a live satsang for me. The whole thing used to come as a live satsang. So that gave me the strength to wake up next day again with a new strength. So that energy, the hidden energy, or the another layer of energy in me, which was never used, just woke up for the need. I don't think it would have been ever possible without the initiation of Swamiji. These are some of the things. As and when the discussion happens, I think more and more will be revealed, even which I don't know, that is hidden in my inner space.
True, Ma. Even as a whole world, what they wanted to live as a life, like everything was in an order, right? So with this pandemic, the whole the world order was completely getting collapsed, and where they can't even go out to purchase for their own basic needs. So at this point of time, how to survive? And it's like literally there was no there was no ray of hope for the life, how the tomorrow will be. At this point of time, Swamiji amazingly had started the Paramashivoham program, and this Paramashivoham program was something amazing where with all the initiations, with all the powerful cognitions, imagine like 16 hours in a day where you will just sit and make yourself completely be available, preparing yourself for that conscious shift, for that spiritual awakening. And every day different initiations into power manifestations, initiations into unclutching, healers, and whatnot. This 16 days, each and every season is like something amazing at which is going to be, which was like a blast for the people and whoever participated. It's like every season we used to have thousands of people sitting together virtually and participating in a very healthy environment and preparing ourselves for this whole pandemic. And very auspiciously the whole pandemic had come to an end with yesterday's Swamiji's initiation. And Maritya Sadashiv Priyananda, as you also have seen, there are lots of people who had gone through this pandemic. And how do you think these spiritual truths have been added value to their life?
Nithyanandama, thank you. Sorry for that technical glitch that I was undergoing just for a few minutes. I really feel that what people should understand after having been through the last 6 months, or even the last, I can say 9 months of Pralaya, and undergoing so much of social turmoil or so much of tumultuous, extremely up and down, really unstable lifestyle over the last 9 months. It is the initiation which I've seen just pull people through this extremely dangerous, extremely unstable time. And initiation, it's a path